Okay, so today we're talking about the equation of parallel and perpendicular lines. Remember, slope is the ratio of the y change, which is called our rise, to the x change, which is called our run, between any 2 points. So our formula for this is going to be y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Okay, so my first example wants me to find the slope of each set of given points. So I'm going to start off by labeling them x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Then I plug into my formula. I'm going to have 4 minus 3 over 0 minus negative 5. What is 4 minus 3? And 0 minus 5 is a double negative, so it's really adding. 0 plus 5 is 5. So my answer is 1/5. When we're working with lines, we always leave our answers as fractions. Okay, so same thing for the next one. I'm going to label x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. And then I'm going to plug into my formula. So I'm going to have 5 minus negative 5 over negative 1 minus 3. Okay, so 5 minus negative 5 is the same thing as 5 plus 5, so that is, and negative 1 minus minus 3. Okay, so both of these numbers are even, so I can still divide them both by 2. That gives me negative 5 over 2. Typically we move our negatives to the top of a fraction. In a coordinate plane, two distinct non-vertical lines are parallel if and only if they have the same slope. So any two vertical lines are parallel. So these are the lines that go up and down. Also, vertical lines have an undefined slope. So in a coordinate plane, two non-vertical lines are perpendicular if and only if their slopes are opposite reciprocals. So if I have a slope that's a over b, the perpendicular slope would be negative b over a. Because it flips the fraction, that's the word reciprocal. And then opposite as in opposite sign. So one is positive and one is negative. And then I have that vertical and horizontal lines are perpendicular. Okay, so the equation of vertical line is going to be in the form x equals, and I'm just going to write a random number, so like x equals 2. The equation of a horizontal line would be something like y equals 3. So then when I'm writing my equations of lines, we have two different forms. We have slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Remember, m is our slope, and b is our y-intercept. And then the other one is point slope form, which is x sub 1, or if I'm given a point, x sub 1, y sub 1, and then I plug it into this formula, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Okay, so this one wants me to write the equation of a line that is passing through the point negative 1, 1 and is parallel to the line. So I'm going to highlight the word parallel because that's important. So this is my x, y. And then my slope, because it's parallel, is going to be the same. That's going to be 2. And this number at the end is not important. So I want to plug into the equation y equals mx plus b. So I know my y is 1. I know my m is 2. My x is negative 1. And I don't know my b. Okay, so 2 times negative 1 is... And then to get b alone, I want it to do what? Add 2 to both sides. So I get 3 equals b. Then I'm going to plug back in m and b into my equation. So I'm going to have y equals 2x plus 3. Okay, so number 4 wants me to write the equation of the line passing through the point 2, 3. So that is my xy. It says this one is perpendicular, and my equation of the line is 2x plus y equals 2. So first thing I want to do is I want to rewrite so it's y equals. So what I want to do first is I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. I get y equals negative 2x plus 2. Okay. Then I want to go ahead and find my perpendicular slope. Remember, this is opposite reciprocal, so since this one was negative, my opposite sign is going to be positive. And then reciprocal means flip the fraction, so if it isn't a fraction, I make it 1 over 1, and then I flip that. So my slope is positive 1/2. And then I want to plug in, so I'm going to have 3 equals 1/2 times 2 plus b. Well, it's 1/2 times 2. One. And then I want to go ahead and do what to get b alone. Subtract 1 on both sides. So I get 2 equals b, and then I just plug back in. So I'm going to have y equals 1/2 x plus 2. Okay. So number 5 says write the equation of the line that passes through the point 1, 5. So that's going to be my xy. And A is parallel, and then B is perpendicular. So parallel means I'm going to have the same slope. So just m equals 3. And then I plug into my equation, so I'm going to have 5 equals 3 times 1 plus b. So 3 times 1 is 3. Then to get b alone, I subtract 3 on both sides. So I get b equals 2. And I plug back in. I'm going to have y equals 3x plus 2. Okay. So b this time I'm perpendicular. So I want to make this over a secret 1. And then I change the sign. So this one's going to be negative. And then I flip the fraction. So 1/3. Then I want to plug in. So I have 5 equals negative 1/3 times 1 plus b. So negative 1/3 times 1 is negative 1/3. And then I want to add 1/3 to both sides. So what I can do is I can do this on my calculator. I can do 5 plus 1 divided by 3. It gives me a decimal, but if I press math and then enter twice, it turns it back into a fraction for me. So I get b is 16/3. Plugging into my equation, I get y equals negative 1/3 x plus 16/3. Okay, so number 6 says, given the line y equals 1, write the equation of the line that is parallel to this line. Notice I don't have a slope in this equation, so all I want to do when it's parallel is I'm just going to do y equals 5. Because I take the y value of my point, and that's going to be the line that's parallel. Okay, so then the next one wants me to find the line that is perpendicular to x equals -5. Again, this only has one letter, so I want to go ahead and choose the opposite letter. So this one's going to be y equals -8. Bless you. Okay, so we just have a few more. This one wants me to write the equation of the line that is parallel. So parallel is going to have the same slope. And then this is going to be my x and y. So when I just plug in, I have 5 equals 2 times 2 plus b. So 2 times 2 is 4. And then to get b alone, I subtract 4 on both sides. I get 1 equals b. So then I just plug back in. I get y equals 2x plus 1. On number 9, it says it's perpendicular. So that means I want the opposite reciprocal slope. So my m is going to be negative because this one was positive. And then if I turn that into a fraction over 1, I can flip it into 1/2. So then this point is still my xy. So I'm going to have -3 equals -1/2 times 4 plus b. What is -1/2 times 4? -2. Then I want to go ahead and add 2 to both sides. So I get -1 equals b. And then I plug back into my equation. I get y equals -1/2 x minus 1. Okay, number 10 says that it is going to be perpendicular. So that means my slope is going to be opposite the sign. So this one's going to be positive. And then when I go ahead and I flip the fraction, it's going to turn into 1/4. And then this point is my xy. So I have negative 3 equals 1/4 times 1 plus b. Okay, so 1/4 times 1 is 1/4. And then I want to go ahead and subtract 1/4 on both sides. So this one I'm going to use my calculator for. I'm going to do negative 3 minus 1/4. And then I'm going to go to math. And then my first choice is fraction, so I hit enter twice. And it gives me negative 13/4. So then I plug into my equation. I get y equals 1/4 x minus 13/4. Okay. My last one says it's going to be parallel, so that means same slope. And then this point is going to be my xy. So I'm going to have 2 equals negative 4 times negative 4 plus b. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. And then I want to go ahead and subtract 16 on both sides. So I get b equals negative 14. Plugging back into my equation, I get y equals negative 4x minus 14.